Heyo everybody, Haku here with my read-through for Magical Girl Raising Project or Mahou Shoujo Ikusei Keikaku. Episodes 5, The Fairy of the Examination Division. So this is our 9th one, I think. We only have 2 more after this. I went on the drive actually before I started recording this and clicked on Peaceful Days, but there's only like one story up there. So I'm gonna add the message plaid. I don't know if maybe it's just not fully translated or if I just can't see all of it or something. So maybe not doing Peaceful Days next as I planned. If it is translated, I totally will do Peaceful Days next. If not, I guess we're moving on to Queens. Tell me if you'd rather, like if you want in the comments, tell me whether you'd rather me do Queens next or Free-to-Play or Breakdown. I think Free-to-Play and Breakdown are both web series and they're both ongoing. So just tell me when you think I should add them in. Should I add them in before Queens, after Queens? Should I add them in? What was I thinking? I lost my train of thought for real there. Geez, yeah, where'd my train of thought go? Should I add them in like after episodes Delta, which is after Queens, which is like another set of episodes really soon after this set of episodes. And then I think after that, the next volume is out and it's Magical Girl Raising Project Black. But yeah, either way, tell me what order you think I should do next or whatever, and I will take it into consideration, because I was just going to go in release order, but if Peaceful Days isn't translated, I can't do release order anyway, so I might as well do Queens, I guess. But yeah, either way, let's actually read Fairy of the Examination Division, and we see Filuru as the sort of main character of this, which is weird. I would have thought maybe Toko, because Toko was a fairy. This story is set before Magical Girl Raising Project Limited. Alright, so it's Filuru and it's before Limited. Okay. Alright. On that day, the examination division was busy, from day to night. There was a big event being held, and many examiners around the world were being invited on a training seminar. Setting up the guest chairs, mats, and food and drinks for the guests were hard work, but it's not every day they can do this. The examination division is probably the busiest division of them all. They get reports and calls almost daily from around the world. A large incident that happened recently in South America, for example. Even though they're based in the land of magic, the examination division acts as a police force, even in the human world. So long as the crime is committed by magical girls, they have the right to investigate and arrest the culprits. Recently, there was a bank robbery that happened in New York. Sometimes the crime is small like these, but there's still crimes being committed by magical girls. The examination division tries not to be political, but it's hard when some criminals' agendas are political by nature. Come on, people, we're operating at half power here. Hana, how's the sit-rep on the robbery case? I'm working on that. Wait for a bit, okay? Don't forget, you still need to investigate the case on that magical girl who shouts her attack names. She shoots a beam as her power. Oh, also, Magus School got attacked recently. Okay, I'm not a miracle worker. Work with me here, alright? How's our stock of magical items? Magical carpets are still available in the warehouse, and our healing medicine's still in stock. We're good. Magical girls, both the ones that work the desk job and the ones that work the field, both shouted and spoke to each other. Several examiners were walking back and forth. It's gotten so complicated recently that volunteers from Foreign Affairs have tried to lend a hand. These are Mouse School students. Need help, they would ask, to which the examiners would just say that it's fine. In times of emergency, there isn't really a set position for the examination division. The examiners can easily switch from desk work to chores to field work when necessary. It helps keep work environment flowing. Alright, so that's really interesting how we're seeing, hold on a sec. Foreign Affairs getting involved to help out the examination division, which is similar to what happened in Limited with Malpam being sent to help out Hana and Mana's group. Magical Girl Jail Warden Filuru has several reasons for taking an arresting course in the examination division. Firstly, she gets assigned to the front lines. Being in the front lines out on the field means that she can sharpen her own combat skills. Secondly, she wanted to get a promotion, a job better than just a warden. If she receives this certificate for passing the course, she'll receive a paycheck of roughly 5,000 yen. In order to enter most magical girl facilities, at least the ones that are secret, you'd have to go around alleyways and secret paths before pressing some kind of trigger to enter the building. Filuru works mostly in America, but was originally from Japan. She tends to use gates to travel between the two countries. Saves up a lot of time and money. Alright. Sometimes when she returns to one country, she'd buy souvenirs from the other country for friends and co-workers. To use the gates, first you need to place your hand on a biometric scanner, then enter a password unique to your ID, then write off on what you plan to use the gate for. Magical gates were developed rather recently. It's a modern form of magic. At first glance, it may seem to be a simple gate, nothing but concrete underneath. However, it's possible to instantaneously visit multiple different locations through the use of these gates. First, you go into a gate. Then a bright light wraps around you, and once it fades, you should be at your destination. Filuru went back from the American gate, however something was wrong. When she reconfirmed the receptionist at the front of the gate, she claimed that she had no idea what Filuru was talking about. The receptionist asked her to sit on the sofa. She said she'll investigate what's happening. Half an hour later. I apologize. This isn't the Examination Division HQ. This is Foreign Affairs. You took half an hour to explain something so fundamental, she thinks. Filuru had about half a mind to lash out at the receptionist, but she didn't want to make a fuss in here. Also, the receptionist was actually very intimidating. Filuru was a bit scared of her, not to mention it's technically Filuru's fault. She set up the gate coordinates, so she's the one at fault here. With a sigh, she stepped into the gate again. This time, the room she went to was still different. However, unlike the dignified appearance of the Foreign Affairs Division, this room was rather fabulous. Alright. The people walking around look like models or entertainers. This isn't Foreign Affairs, this is Public Relations. There was a small ferret-like mascot character running around, looking like he was crying. Filuru checked her destination once more, trying to input the correct address into the magical gate. Next time she used it, the interior that she found herself in was wooden, like those old schools you see in movies. The Foreign Affairs Division had black concrete. The Public Relations Division had pearly white walls. This one looks to be more practical than style. After all, what's the point of looking good so long as you fulfill your job? Filuru's chest tightened up. Hopefully this was the right place. She walked inside and headed for the receptionist, but there was no receptionist. There was no bell, no buzzer, nothing to call for anyone. "Hello, excuse me, is anyone home?" shouted Filuru in a loud voice. No reply. No signs of anyone coming out of the back either. She kept trying, making her voice louder every time. 5 minutes into it, and Filuru was getting desperate. She was extremely late. The training seminar had probably already begun. Although it seems better just to give up. Filuru already spent so much time she didn't want it to be wasted. There wasn't a single person in there. She looked around again, and again, and again. Still no one here. The room itself is about twice the size of a regular high school gymnasium. It's wooden, so it gives this old-school vibe, but it's just as solid as your regular division building. These facilities are designed to never collapse, no matter how strong a magical girl tries to destroy it. Often the walls are even more enhanced with enhancements and magic. There was a mountain of tatami mats lying around the corner. Naturally, the mats were also strengthened. This division clearly has more budget than Filuru's. A larger budget means a better paycheck at least. Wonder how much they offered. Oh, a visitor. Just as Filuru was thinking about money, a voice called out to her. Looking back, Filuru was just as shocked as the magical girl before her. A policeman motif with sirens hanging at the sides of her waist. On her shoulders were gigantic handcuffs. Patricia! Okay, so we barely have gotten to see anything of her, period. So I'm interested to see what we could possibly learn about Patricia. In other words, this girl looked like she fit right in with the Examination Division. Filuru waved her hands. Oh, thank goodness. I was starting to get worried that no one would show up. It's fine. Name's Patricia. Contrary to her policeman outfit, her tone is quite casual and polite. My name's Filuru. Nice to meet you. Pleasure's all mine. Wow, it's really empty in here, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Excuse me, but you wouldn't happen to know where everyone is, would you? Not a clue. Oh well, like I said, I'm in a bit of trouble here, and I'm kind of late for an event, so if you could just point me the right way. Is this gonna be how Filuru loses her job? Seriously? I'm late too. Huh? For some reason, something doesn't check out. Patricia was showing a shocked expression on her face too. Wait, what do you mean you're late too? Asked Filuru. You're not from the examination division? Asked Patricia. No, I'm actually going here as a student. Aren't you from the examination division? Nope. Well, that's just great. Not only did Filuru not find anyone, but she found someone with the exact same problem she had. That usually won't solve anything at all. What do you think we should do? Well, this place is pretty big. We should go look around. But there's no one here so far. No need for thinking it over. It's best to do what Patricia suggested and look around some more. Suddenly, Patricia looked behind Filuru. She grabbed Filuru's shoulder and pointed out somewhere while shouting out, "Hey, hello, over here!" Filuru looked back. Patricia was shouting at the mountain of tatami mats. "I see you, hello, you over there, behind the tatami mats, I'm talking to you." Filuru didn't notice it at first, but she realized what Patricia was pointing at, the shadow of a person hiding behind the tatami mats. Just then, a girl peeked out from underneath the tatami mats. This was definitely a magical girl. Black and white stripes, leather bow, a strange cross-shaped guitar, and a lip ring. She looked like a rock star, dressed outlandishly. This is really interesting that Tot Pop is like, she showed up in a bunch of these episodes in episodes 5, sort of like, she's like a similar thread, her story being told throughout this. The girl smiled nervously, peeking out of the mats. "Hey, it might look like I'm hiding in here like some kind of bad guy, but that's way too obvious, so that can't possibly be true. Don't you worry about it. Tot's a proper magical girl." Filuru hoped that she wasn't another lost student like her. She didn't even bother expressing any relief, just in case. Instead, she went straight for the question. "Are you from the examination division?" "Of course she is. Look at her," said Patricia. "What are you talking about, Patricia? She looks like an escaped convict who moonlights as a death metal rock star." Of course, magical girls' appearances shouldn't be the only thing that should be judged, but if Patricia's going for that excuse, then it makes no sense at all. Well, best to just go with it. "If you're in the examination division, you mind telling us what's going on?" asked Filuru. Right. I also want to know, where is everyone? Filuru and I are the only ones here." The guitarist magical girl began to scratch her forehead. "Oh, this is cool. I like this illustration a lot." It's funny because some of the illustrations have been like not as great in episodes 5, but I really, really like this one. Filuru and Patricia look really cute, and it's like one of the few illustrations we really get to see with them. And then we have Tot Pop coming out from behind the tatami, as she's being called. She mumbled to herself. It looks like she has no clue what's going on. However, just as Filuru thought that, the guitarist smiled. "Well, you see, that's a secret," said the guitarist. "Huh? A secret?" "Yeah, 'cause if you think about it, I should be asking you guys why you're here, so why are you here?" Oh, right. We're here for the arresting course." Right. The guitarist knocked on her head and nodded. She walked away from the tatami mat. She slowly began to reach for the exit while talking. "Well, just like a fire drill, we're not really supposed to tell you when the actual training begins, you know? You just hear an alarm and you start pretending like it's an actual fire, right? So the alarm's already rang, and now you need to pretend like there's an actual fire. Arresting course begins. Well, nice talking with you, but I gotta go. Ciao." The guitarist headed for the exit, but Patricia grabbed hold of her neck collar. The guitarist gagged lightly as Patricia pulled her over between her and Filuru. "Wait, hold up. We still don't know what we're supposed to be doing. What's the course supposed to be like? Can't you spare us a few minutes to teach it?" asked Patricia, forcing the guitarist to stay in spot. The guitarist's knees were slightly shaking. She had a nervous smile on her face. I'd love to, but Tot's a little busy, said the guitarist. It's just two people looking to learn. You can spare some time, said Patricia, forcefully sitting down the guitarist. The guitarist, Patricia, and Filuru sat down, making a triangle formation. I'll start. My name's Patricia. I'm a freelancer. I'm real good at fighting. My name's Filuru. I'm a warden. Tot, sir. Keek's the name. I work in the examination division. And of course we saw her with Keek before, and now she's impersonating Keek. Patricia raised her eyebrow. Keek, I thought you said your name was Tot several times. Yeah, my name is Tot Keek. My name's Tot Keek. Said the guitarist with a nervous smile. The whole situation looks very weird to Filuru. Patricia was smiling and Tot Keek was laughing, but there was a certain tension here that Filuru didn't really understand that well. Well, isn't this fun, Tot Keek? Asked Patricia. Yep, sure is. Ha ha ha. Filuru could only smile politely. She was stressed out about a lot of things, so she couldn't exactly understand what's going on, but she might be missing something here. Geez, Filuru describes my life. She was stressed out about a lot of things, so she couldn't exactly understand what's going on, but she might be missing something here. Maybe the examination division has a communications requirement. Undercover missions would need you to adopt a suitable way of speaking, after all. So, Filuru, why'd you decide to take the course? Said one of the two girls. Huh? Filuru spaced out, so she didn't understand that she was being called for. When things like this happened, Filuru often answered the first thing that came to her mind. Well, I just thought if I can get promoted, I'd be able to get a raise, higher paychecks and all that. Like that. Tot Keek chuckled to herself. Well, money is important. Patricia closed her eyes and nodded. All joking aside, she's right. Money's pretty important, come to think of it. Well, Tot doesn't really have to worry about money. I'm pretty wealthy myself. Seriously? Did you get lots of money from this job? Asked Patricia. Well, it's more like a friend of mine gives me money. She's kinda rich, so she donates a little to me sometimes, said Tot Keek. How much are we talking about? Asked Filuru curiously. 1 million. What? 1 million? Patricia yelped out, saying several things at once, asking to meet the person, expressing her jealousy, trying to sweeten up to Tot Keek. How much do you earn, how much do you normally earn anyway? Asked Tot Keek to Patricia. Me? Only a measly 200,000. That's not measly. That's more than I get. Oh, what currency are we talking about, by the way? I'm assuming US dollars? Asked Patricia. Nah, I'm talking about pound sterling, said Top Pop. Oh my god! Filuru felt sick. Filuru, you okay? You look pale. You sick? Asked Patricia. Even 200,000 in USD is insanity, though, Patricia. Jeez. Filuru, you okay? You look pale. You sick? Asked Patricia. Magical girls don't get sick, said Tot. No, I'm fine, said Filuru weakly. That's a lie. She's not fine at all. Once the talk became about salary, Filuru's heart began to break. Converting it to Japanese yen was a bit difficult. 200 US dollars and 1 million pound sterling? Filuru, if you're feeling off, maybe you should take a break from the course, suggested Patricia. No, I'm fine, really. Really? Magical girl criminals can be dangerous, you know. You need to know how to best fight them and be in top shape, said Patricia. Alright. I think it's time to switch topics from salary and Filuru's health. That's why I wanted to join the arresting course, said Filuru. It looks like she caught the other girl's attention with that. You see, there's some really powerful magical girl criminals locked up in prison. Some have killed tens of thousands of people, so I want to know how to best handle them, if they ever break out, said Filuru. I see. Ambition should be rewarded. Well, I'm sure Tot Keek won't mind showing us a few moves of her own, right? Asked Patricia. Sure, maybe, said Tot Keek. Maybe don't you examiners have to be fighting all the time? Asked Patricia. Well, sometimes. Not all of us fight. It's different from Tot. I'm a desk jockey. Yeah, I work papers. Where I lost my place. Oh, there it is. You look like someone who's been in fights before, though. But I guess even desk jockeys in the examination division can fight us, said Patricia. Patricia's eyes then widened. Oh, can you tell us any examination division secrets? I've always wanted to know one. A secret technique? A move? Come on, we'll keep it a secret too, said Patricia. Did you know if you grab the ears of someone in the right place, you can stop their movements and even tell where they're going, said Tot Keek. Really, now that I think about it, I do feel a bit weird if my ears get disturbed in some way, said Patricia, grabbing her ears. Ah, that's right. That's because the ears are the center of balance. It's where all your movements are being made. But the right way to hold it's a secret known only to the examination division, said Tot Keek. The whole scene looked bizarre. Patricia was grabbing her ears, trying to find the right spot, even though it looked ridiculous. Filuru can't really complain. Tot Keek was in the examination division, so she was like a hunter, catching her prey with intelligence and knowledge. Patricia was a freelancer, meaning any carelessness could lead to her death. In comparison, Filuru was a jail warden. Basically, to take the hunter analogy, she's the zookeeper. Yeah, she's guarding dangerous animals, but they're in bars, and it's not as life or death as these two. Alright. Even though they seem a little weird at the moment, Filuru was afraid of them. They were so much better than Filuru in both skill and intelligence. Suddenly, the noises of footsteps echoed across the room. Ah, you're here, boomed the loud voice. It was the voice of a man. The three magical girls stood up and looked at the source of the voice. It was a man in a suit and mustache. There seems to be a standoff happening in the villa just a bit from here. I've set the gates to take you there. Gate number 6. No time to waste now. I'm expecting that taken care of soon, said the man, walking away afterwards. All right, the class has officially begun. Gate 6, right? Come on, Filuru, Tot Keek. We're headed there right now, said Patricia. Eh? Me? asked Tot. Sure, you'll be supervising us, right? Come on, said Patricia. I guess. Sure, Whoa. Tot Keek was pulled alongside Patricia. When it comes to paychecks, Filuru loses against both of them. But when it comes to battle, Filuru won't lose to both. She'll prove she has what it takes, for the sake of her and the pride of all wardens in the land of magic. When they exited the gate, they found themselves in England. They were outside of some kind of manor. This was clearly a mage's manor. There was also some kind of strike, some angry magical girls and mages on strike. The gang figured out what was going on. Because the mage in charge of these strikers probably didn't give them enough payment, they decided to cause a strike and stop working. In these kinds of situations, the examination division is supposed to handle it when it gets out of hand. Though, after all the talk about salaries, Filuru kind of wanted to side with the strikers on this one. If this was supposed to be a simulation training, it truly crushed Filuru's soul. Just remember, this is all fake. This is a training simulation. These people aren't actually in my situation. 75 square meters of land, surrounded by high stone fences, vines and roses tangled in archways decorating the paved stone paths. This was the stage that was set. The leader of the strike, a mage dressed in witch attire, had a red face. Wages for mages. Magical girls don't work for free. We demand proper wages. Such acting skills, it almost seemed real. So the examination division hires actors too. Filuru became more and more impressed by the day. Though the costumes were a bit much, she thought, it's a little off on the directing side too. I see a barrier nearby, so we shouldn't be worried about humans watching us, said Patricia. Filuru nodded. Preliminary information being received was rather annoying to remember, but this is a simulation after all. Just before they arrived here, Filuru had already knitted several threads to her partners and connected it to her index finger. They entered the mage's manor, where several magical girls were still striking from the inside. Patricia knocked down the entrance door with a kick. There was a scream, and just as quickly a wicker chair was thrown toward the gang. Patricia's reactions were quick, and she kicked away the chair, destroying it instantly. Several magical girls ran off afterward. The chase was on. Filuru broke off from the group and chased after some magical girls headed downstairs. The magical girls downstairs passed through a floor with a carpet. Filuru smiled, grabbed the edge of the carpet, and with all her strength pulled it toward her. The magical girl running away fell down brilliantly. Satisfied, Filuru held down the magical girl with her leg while knitting a thread through her body. Filuru's threads cause no pain and can sew through anything. She made sure to restrain the magical girl, dressed up like a handmaiden. Another magical girl showed up before Filuru, and Filuru responded by creating a bow-like shape with her threads, and shooting another thread like an arrow straight to the magical girl, quickly knitting her and tying her up. Upstairs, her partners had finished rounding up other magical girls. Filuru tied them up as well, kicking them outside afterward. I love Filuru's abilities, one of my favorites. Patricia and Tot Keek were waiting for Filuru. There was a reason why Filuru had decided to take care of a lot of the magical girls in the manor. That's because a lot of people assume jail wardens are weak, cheap, no salary, and all they do is just watch criminals from safety. Filuru's here to prove them wrong. Filuru's useful, strong, and competent. She'll definitely show them that. $200,000? £1,000,000? Who cares? Filuru can do so much better. Patricia led the way. Filuru was in the middle. Tot Keek was behind her. As soon as they left the entrance hall to go deeper into the manor, they memorized the plans carefully. Every 3 steps they'd take, Filuru sewed a thread on the floor. Then they advanced. They went to a T-shaped junction. Filuru sewed threads to an armor stand, specifically the helmet part. They continued on. Now we're at page 16. Gonna grab some water really quick. Alrighty then, continuing on. Suddenly, the armor head came flying off and instantly hit a magical girl trying to sneak up behind them. She fell down and groaned as Filuru tied her up and sewed threads all over her body so she couldn't move, carrying her on their backs. It's impossible to sneak attack Filuru once she's laid so many threads in the area. The vibrations will be transmitted through Tot Keek, and she's fighting too. Filuru's group continued onward, with Patricia splitting up from the main group. Filuru and Tot Keek kept going until they reached a room with a chest in it. Carefully, Filuru sewed threads on the chest. She felt vibrations, which means someone was in the chest. She pulled on the chest and threw it toward a room. She heard a scream when the chest was broken. It's useless to try to hide them. The two of them kicked the door to the room, and they saw a magical girl with a flickering costume. Tot Keek strummed her guitar. Filuru quickly swung herself behind the magical girl. The magical girl dodged Tot Keek's notes, while at the same time dodging Filuru's surprise kick. Tot Keek backstepped, maintaining her distance. She strummed her guitar. The 3 magical girls had already told each other their abilities. Filuru caught the incoming notes with her threads and dragged them across the room, attempting to hit the flickering magical girl. The walls, floor, and ceiling, the bed broke with the notes as well. The flickering magical girl was too fast. Filuru retreated behind Tot Keek, tapping her shoulder. "Can you adjust your timing? Match me, okay?" asked Filuru. "She's just gonna avoid it again," said Tot Keek. "Trust me, one more time." "Alrighty, it's worth a shot." Tot Keek strummed her guitar, and the magical girl dodged once more, but this time Filuru was ready. She had already prepared a large net of threads when she was swinging around the room before. The net can't be dodged because it surrounded the magical girl. Filuru tightened up the net, and the magical girl began to trip, as she was suddenly hit with a variety of invisible threads. Tot Keek's notes then barraged the magical girl's body, who spasmed and screamed before falling unconscious. Filuru looked nervous. "Wasn't that overkill?" she asked. "It's alright, I didn't kill her. Besides, examination division training's like an actual battle." "Well, if you say so." Alright. Tot Keek was a member of the examination division. It should be fine. Filuru sewed the unconscious girl and threw her out the window. Then she heard violent vibrations in her threads. Multiple magical girls were rushing the hallway. Filuru gave hand signals to Tot Keek. Tot Keek nodded, faced the door, and strummed her guitar as fast as possible. A group of magical girls were headed toward their location, but Tot Keek's notes managed to knock down 3 of them. Only one managed to dodge them all. Filuru's threads pulled that one toward the room, and then she seamlessly transferred the thread to one that she'd prepared in the ceiling. The magical girl was pulled up to a ceiling beam, crashing her head on the beam and falling down unconscious. Again, they were all sewn and thrown out the window. Filuru and Tot Keek headed upstairs, running there. A magical girl was waiting for them, but with a swift kick to the chin she was blown back and beaten. Capitalist dogs, yelled a voice from behind Filuru. Just as quickly, Filuru dodged a longsword that was brought down to the floor. She also simultaneously tied the threads down, sticking the longsword magical girl down. Tot Keek saw the signal and unleashed a barrage of notes to the longsword magical girl, knocking her out. Even though this was a simulation, it was weird of them to call the examination division officials capitalist dogs. In the next room, there were about 10 black creatures. 10. They were outnumbered. Clearly, Filuru retreated back into the previous room. As she ran away, she sewed threads where she ran off. The black creatures kept chasing her, and when they were close by, Filuru pulled her threads to tie up the creatures in a large clump. Alright. Tot Keek used her notes to blow them all away. In the distance, they saw a magical girl trying to produce more of these strange creatures. Filuru acted fast, running toward the magical girl, then sliding as she got closer. She sewed the magical girl's legs, then jumped up to the ceiling, pulling her upside down and tying her there. The next room, Filuru kicked it open. Patricia was kicking a magical girl outside a window, while 3 more lie unconscious in the corner. Patricia saw the others and shrugged her shoulders. "Hey, what's up? It's actually a bit boring in here," said Patricia. "You doing good, Patricia?" asked Filuru. "I'm fine. Are you doing okay, Phil? It's dangerous to go alone, you know?" "I'm not alone. I've got Tot with me. Right, Tot?" Patricia scratched her head. Filuru looked back. Tot Keek wasn't there. "Eh? She was with me a while ago." Filuru looked at the thread connecting Tot Keek to her. It seems to have been separated somehow. "You sure you're all right? Didn't get hit in the head?" asked Patricia. "That's weird. I swore she was with me." So we have a scandal? Okay, now we're cutting away. So we have a scandal. Mana placed the cup of coffee on the table. She had already drunk some of it. Hana refilled her own cup with tea. She picked it up and drank a bit of it. There were only these two in the waiting room, only Mana and Hana. Their voices were low because what they're talking about is very sensitive. They're in a room, the room they're in is a narrow room, surrounded by cabinets on 3 sides. Several investigation materials were listed. A scandal on one of these investigation cases. The two of them sighed. That man we questioned didn't even remember the names of the supposed examiners. We never sent any," said Mana. "Okay. Sorry I couldn't help out. I was busy with my own investigations that day. Still, these guys weren't from us. It looks like they wanted to join the arresting course. Oh, did they get lost? Probably. So what did happen, Machan? Looks like they thought the entire thing was a simulation for the arresting course and ended up capturing almost every magical girl and mage in that manner." Hana drank more of her tea. "But Machan, did you hear? Something seemed off." "Off? You mean aside from all this?" "Yeah, there weren't 2, there were 3. "Huh? The man that we questioned said there were 3 magical girls, but only 2 of them finished up. What is this, a ghost story? The man told us her features, and the students told us her name, but we found nothing in the database. Sis, you know I hate ghost stories. Don't scare me like that. Not here, at least. I'm not trying to scare you. For all we know, it might be a helpful fairy of some kind. Like actual fairy? Probably. It wasn't spherical, so it can't be cyber. Maybe the examination division has their own fairy somewhere. Psh, an outcast fairy? Hey, those things can happen, you know?" I like this. Tot Keek pulling these real mysterious plays throughout these episodes. So I love it, and I love Tot Keek version of Tot Pop. So this is actually interesting, and it's weird that Tot Pop died a few arcs back, and now we're getting this mystery with her. I would like to see some more information on what's going on with, like, her freedom fighters at least, or the revolution that she was a part of now that she's gone. I'd like to see more of that. But yeah, we only have 2 more left here, and then we get back to the main story, I guess, if we're not doing Peaceful Days, but I don't know yet. So yeah, really, really cool. We'll get this video up as soon as possible. I enjoyed it and had a ton of fun, as I always do with this series. And I'm thinking about doing a Magical Girl Raising Project character tier list type video soon. I know I've done a favorite character video before, and I'm going to do another favorite character video after Queens probably. But this would be a bit different. This would be a tier list video for the characters so far. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you did like a video, or the video. Comment down there. Tell me what you thought of this week's After, what you thought of my thoughts, reaction, all that. Subscribe for more Magical Girl Racing Project, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated on stuff for the channel or talk to you there. And if you'd like a link to our Discord server to talk to me or more of us on Discord, just ask and I can give you a link. Lastly, if you want to help support the channel on Patreon so that I can keep making these videos, it's patreon.com/Haku of the tubes, or a link will be in the description. It really, really does help me keep making these, so thank you hugely to the patrons already. But if not, thank you for just being a part of the community. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching again, and I'll see you all next time.